Assalamu alaikum. So today we're gonna do Precalculus general review part 2. So we're gonna finish what we started last time. Let's start with the first question. Here they ask me to solve this equations: x to the 2/3 minus 7x to the 1/3 plus 12 equals 0. So they want to find out what is the value of x. So here I wanted to see this in that way. So we have x to the 2/3 minus 7x to the 1/3 plus 12 equals 0. So when I see this is twice that exponent, you see that exponent, which is the leading with the highest exponent, is twice the middle one. I'm dealing with quadratic equations all the time. When you see this is twice that one, that means this is quadratic equations. So how can I change this one to the quadratic equations? So I substitute x to the 1/3, which is the middle exponent, with u. So here I will have u squared will be x to the 2/3. So if I raise this one to the square, so I will have 2/3. So that's mean here what do we have? We have u squared minus 7u plus 12. As you see here, this become quadratic equations, which is I can factor easily. So here is the same thing as x minus 3 times x minus 4 equals 0. So you can factor this using direct factoring. So that means I'm going to look for p times q equal 12 and p plus q equal minus 7. As you see here, this is negative and this is positive. This positive tells me that both 0 are same sign. That means this tells me that both are the same sign, either both positive or both negative. That means p and q, they are the same sign, either both positive or both negative. But how do I know if both are negative or both are positive? So the middle sign tells me that either both are negative or both are positive. So this, it tells me they are the same sign, but the middle sign tells me which sign I have to look for, either a positive sign or negative sign. So here I'm going to look for two negative number. When you time give me 12, so either I have minus 1 minus 6, minus 3 minus 4, minus 2 minus 5. Of course I will pick that one because when we add those two will give me minus 7. And if I times those two will give me 12. This will give me 6, this will give me 10. So this will work for me, which is minus 3 minus 4. This is why I pick here. Now what do we have? We have x minus 3 equals 0, x minus 4 equals 0. So when I solve this I got x equal 3. You see here I'm using u, then I change it to x. In fact this is u because x is the one that I'm looking for. So here should be u. Sorry for that. This is u, 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 because after that I'm going to substitute back to x. So this is u. I'm sorry for that. So this is u equal 4, because I'm not looking for u, I'm looking for x. U is just steps to make my equations more simpler, which I can solve in an easy way. Now because I'm looking for x, I'm going to substitute u by its expression, which is x cubed. So that's mean here we come x 1/3 equal 3 and x 1/3 equal 4. I'm looking for x and this is x to the 1/3. So what I do, I raise it to the 3 both sides. So here it's become x equal 27 and the second will be x equal 64. Those will be my two solution here. So here will be 27, 64. I hope you got the idea. So when you see, each time you see the highest exponent is twice the middle one, right away is quadratic. So try to substitute the middle one bit with u or v or whatever variable you want to choose, but don't substitute with x because you get confused. Alright, next question. For the function below, find the vertex, the axis of symmetry, maximum or minimum value. Alright, so here I have the quadratic equations. So we know that the quadratic equation f of x is defined as ax squared plus bx plus c. So the formula for the vertex, so the vertex is a point, so it's defined by b over 2a and 4ac minus b squared over 4a. So this is the value of the vertex. So what you do, you substitute this x value of the vertex into the equations. You're going to end up having this, and this in fact is the opposite of the discriminant. You see, the discriminant of a quadratic is what? Is b squared minus 4ac. So this is the opposite. So it's you multiply this by minus, it will give you this, and you divide by 4a. So this is the vertex, and we know that the vertex, the x value, is my axis of symmetry, and the y value is my extremum, either max or min. So extremum, so either my max or my min. So that's the good thing about the vertex. You see, in fact, in this question, I just need to find out the vertex. The rest, it's from the vertex I will get it. So if they ask you to find out the axis of symmetry, the maximum or the minimum, indirectly they ask you to find out the vertex. So find out the vertex will tell you what to do. Now, how do I know if it's max or min? For the vertex, it's straightforward. I just do minus b over 2a, I get my axis of symmetry. So axis of symmetry, x is minus b over 2a, because this is the x of the x value of the vertex. So what is my b here is 5. What is my a is minus 1. So this is going to be minus b, so it's going to be minus 5. 2 minus 1 is going to be 5 half. So my axis of symmetry is x equal 5 half. So this is set. So this is axis of symmetry. X equal 5 half. Okay. Now, how do I know if I have a max or min? That means the value we'll get here, it's a max or min. That means that value is a y. So y is 4ac minus b squared over 4a, which means I will have 4 times minus 1 times c, which is 6, minus 5 squared over 4 times minus 1. So this will be my maximum value. So here it's going to be minus 24 minus 25 over minus 4. So it's going to be minus 49 over minus 4, which is 49 over 4. So if I want to do it in terms of fixed numbers, so they're going to be 12 and 1/4. So this is my extremum value. This is my extremum. I didn't say it's max or min. But how do I know if it's max or min? So to know if it's max or min, I check the sign of the leading coefficient. If a is positive, that means it's a minimum. If a is negative, it's a maximum. So this is exactly how we define if it's max or min. Just check the sign of the leading coefficient. So leading coefficient, so which is minus 1 here. So here it's a negative, that means it's a maximum. That means this one is my maximum value. If it's positive, it's become the minimum value. As you see here, find the vertex, the axis of symmetry, and the maximum or the minimum value. In fact, it's one question they ask you the vertex, because from the vertex you get all the information you need to know for those like 3 questions. You just need to solve one question, it will give you the other 2. I hope it's clear. Solve for x. Here we have 3x squared times 9 to the x equal 27. So what I need to do here, this is exponential equations. So what I do, I need to make sure that the base or the root, whatever you call it, should be the same. That means this is the base, I call it the root. This is the base, and this is the base, because here we have base, we have 1. So I need to make sure that this is the same. So what I do here, I change this one to this base and change 27 to that base in order for me to have same base. So 3x squared times 3 to x, because this is 3 squared and this is 3 cube. Now what I do here, because I use the property of the exponent, so if I have a to the n times a to the m is the same thing as a n plus m. So here it's become 3x squared plus 2x equal 3. Now what I do, I apply log base 3 on both sides. Or you can make both of them equal, because we know that exponential is one-to-one function, so you can use that concept. So because exponential is one-to-one function, I just need to make this equal this right away. So I can, from here I can go right away to x squared plus 2x equal 3, or I can, here what I do, I cancel. So I got x squared plus 2x equal 3. So we get the same idea. So either you use the property of one-to-one function, but if you forgot that property, use log base the same root. So if I have root 3, use log base 3. If I have root 5 or base 5, that's mean use log base 5. So here what I do, I move the 3 and I factor this quadratic expression. So this is going to be x plus 3 times x minus 1. As you see here, we have negative. That means this is the product of two opposite numbers, one positive, one negative. But which one is positive, which one is negative? Because here it's only 3 and 1. So which one is positive, which one is negative? The middle sign tell me which one is positive. So if the middle sign is positive, that means the highest is positive. If the middle sign is negative, that means the highest is negative. So the middle sign is always for the highest value. So here the highest value is 3, that means here we have minus 1. This is why we have here. So in that case, what I do here, I have x plus 3 equals 0 and x minus 1 equals 0. So I got x equal 3 minus 3. So when we solve, we got minus 3 and x equal 1, and those are the solution for that equations. Next question. Here they ask me to sketch the graph of this function. So we have f of x equal x minus 3 square 2x plus 5. So the first thing when they ask you to graph a function, find the y-intercept and find the x-intercept. First, try to locate those. So here I'm gonna find out the y-intercept. So which mean I will make the x equal 0 to get the y-intercept. So when we try to find out the y-intercept, you make x equal 0. So when I get x equals 0, that's where we'll have f of 0 will be minus 3 square times 0 plus 5, which is 5. So here's going to be 9 plus times 5 is 45. So this is going to be my y-intercept. And my x-intercept, I just make this equations equal 0 to get the x-intercept. So x-intercept. So what I do, I make y equals 0. So I will have x minus 3 square times 2x plus 5 equals 0. If the product is equal 0, that means one of them is 0. So what I do, I make both of them equal 0. X minus 3 equals 0. And 2x plus 5 equal 0. So when I solve here, I got x equal 3, and when I solve here, I got x equal minus 5 half. Now what I do, I'm gonna locate my value. So let me assume this is 45, because I don't have a big spot here, so I'm gonna assume this is 45. So here I'm gonna use this. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. I know the units are not the same, but I'm just like creating here minus 1, minus 2, so minus 1, minus 2, this is minus 5 half. Alright, so this is going to be my first, this is my second x-intercept, and this is my y-intercept. Alright. Now, how can I graph this? It's not because I have the intercept I can graph this. So I need to locate where the graph will be located, which means I need to use the sign of the graph, the sign of the function, when the function is positive and when this function is negative. That means when the function is above the x axis, that means this is positive, and when the function is below the x-axis, that means negative. That means I will find out when the graph is above and when the graph is below. The above, that means the function is positive, below the function is negative. So in that case, what I do, I draw my my line of sign of the function. So here I'm going to create my x-intercept, so again minus 5/2. So here we have 3. So those are my x-intercepts. So I'm going to see the sign on that location, is if it's positive or negative, positive or negative, positive or negative. So in that case, what I do, I just plug in a value. Here I'm going to plug -3. Here I'm going to plug 0, which is already half 45, so it's going to be positive here. And here I'm going to plug 4 and see what's the sign I will get. So if I plug -3 here, I got here 6 is going to be positive. This is going to be negative. Positive times negative is negative. That means here will be negative. If I plug 4 here, this is going to be positive because this is always square. And here we have positive plus positive is positive. So it's going to be positive. So it's going to be positive. So which means that the graph on that location is going to be negative. So it's going to be down. And after that location is going to be above. So which means that from here, because I know this is degree 2, this is degree 1, if I add the degree, it's going to be 3. So the end behavior at the infinite of power 3 is always minus infinite. It's like I'm having my minus infinite power 3 is going to give me minus infinite. And if I have infinite power 3 is going to be infinite. That means the end behavior of the graph. So at the minus infinite, the graph is going to be down, and the positive infinite, the graph is going to be up. So here I know that this side, I know that the graph will be down here. It's going to go down. So I'm just creating shape here. Now I know the graph is going to move up, then down here. So this, because this is going to be my x-intercept, and it doesn't go below because we see it's positive. That means the graph is going to stay above, so it's going to touch the x and move up here. So I know that after that it's going to be going up here because it's going to go to the infinite. So my problem here is this side. If it's going to go up here then move down, or go up here then move down. So I don't know what's going on here. So in that case, what I do, I see the behavior of those 2 points. If it's decreasing, that means from here is my max, so it's going to decrease. If it's increased then decrease, that means it's going to go up and decrease after that. So what I do, I'm going to find out the value of 1 and 2 into the function. So if I want to find out f of 1, what I will get here, I'll get -2, 4. So 4 times 7 is 28, and f of 2, I will have 1 minus 1 square, which is 1, and 4 plus 5 is 9, so it's going to be 9. As you see here, from 28 to 9, that means this is 28, go down to 9, that means keep decreasing. That means the graph here, it will decrease after that, and of course it's going to decrease here. There we go, and this will be my graph for that function. So the most 2 important thing you need to work on is this sign, the line of sign of the function, when the graph is above the x-axis and when the graph is below. So this will tell you where the graph is above and when the graph is below, and define the x-intercept and the y-intercept, and from there you will find the idea how to graph. And the end behavior is given to you all the time, so check the end behavior of the function. Just take the highest power and put the minus infinity to the highest power and see what you got, plus infinity to the highest power and see what you got, and this will tell you how the shape will look like. Alright, next question. Find the quotient and the remainder of this division. So here I have x minus 2 divided by x cubed minus 3x squared minus 4. So here is regular division. So which expression times x give me x cubed is x squared. So I distribute. So I get x cubed minus 2x squared. Then I minus. So here it's cancel out. We have minus 3x squared minus minus is positive, so it's going to be minus x squared minus 4. So which expression times x give you minus x squared is minus x. So I will have minus x squared plus 2x, then I minus. So here it's cancel out. Here we have 0x minus is going to be minus 2x. I moved it down to minus 4. Now which expression times x give you minus 2x is minus 2. So I distribute. So I got minus 2x, and here will be plus 4. Then I minus. So here this is cancelled out. This is minus 8. So my quotient will be x squared minus x minus 2, and the remainder will be minus 8. So you can use synthetic division here. So to do synthetic division, make this one equal 0. So x minus 2 equals 0. That means x equal 2. So what I do here, I do it in this way. This is my synthetic division. I put the coefficient here. We have 1. X squared is minus 3. X, there's no x here. That means we have 0. And you have minus 4. So what I do here, I move this one down. So I got 1. 1 times 2 is 2. So I put 2 here. Then I add. So I got minus 1 times, so it's going to be minus 2. I add, I got minus 2. Time together minus 4. I add, I got minus 8. So this is my quotient, so the coefficient of the quotient. So this is degree 1, this is degree 3. To find out the quotient, you subtract those two. So 3 minus 1 is 2. That means this is degree 2. So it's going to be x1 x squared minus x minus 2. And this is going to be my quotient, and the remainder here is minus 8. So this is the two way you can do it. Either you use the long division or you use synthetic division. Synthetic division is most easier, but you have to be careful about the missing term. Alright, find the formula of the inverse. So here I just need to solve for x. So I make y equal sixth root of 2x minus 1. So here I'm looking for x. So what I do here, this is the same thing if I have y as 2x minus 1 to the power, or to the exponent 1 over 6. So I need to have 1 as exponent. So what I do, I'm going to raise both sides to the power 6 or to the exponent 6. So here what's happened, this is cancelled out. So I got y 6 equals 2x minus 1. So I solve for x now. So I got y 6 plus 1 equals 2x divided by 2. I got my x equal y 6 plus 1 over 2. So my inverse function of x will be, I just substitute y by x 6 plus 1 over 2, and this will be my answer. Next question. So here they ask me to solve for x for these log equations. Here you have to be very, very, very careful. So this is in fact easy question, but in fact it's not easy as you think. This is a tricky question. Why? Because here I'm going to use the property of log, but when I use the property of log, I may have an answer which is not an answer to my equations. So be careful. Here, when you have this type of equations, define the domain of these equations. That means where the answer should be located. That means you need to find out the domain of this expression. So I'm going to find out the domain of log 9x minus 5 minus log 9x plus 3. This expression is not the same thing when you simplify. So x minus 5 over x plus 3, because when you simplify this, or you condense this into one log form, you're gonna have this expression. The domain of this one is not the same thing as that one. They don't have the same domain. You have to be careful. Be careful on this. So the domain of that one, I need to have this one greater than 0, and this one greater than 0. For the domain of that one, I need to have the whole expression greater than 0. So the domain of this, I will have -3, 5. So this is not include. It's this side and this side. Anything greater than 5 and anything less than -3. This is going to be my domain. But the domain of that one, so here should be x greater than 5 and x greater than -3. Which means that x should be greater than 5 is my domain here. So this is -3, this is 5, anything greater, so this part is my domain for that equations. You see, as you see here, for that equations we have only that domain, but for that one we have both domain. That means the answer here that I'm looking for should be located here, but for that equations the answer should be located either here or here. So that's the trick about that equations. When you, because we're gonna transform this from extended to condensed form, I want to make it this form, but I need to make sure that my domain where I'm gonna find out the solution is clear. That's mean I know where I'm gonna find out the solution. That's mean try to set the domain first, then solve. Set the domain first of the solution, then solve. So here I will have log base 9 of x minus 5 over x plus 3 equal 3/2. So now I'm going to raise both sides to the power 9. So I got x minus 5 over x plus 3 equal 9 to the 3/2, which means is 3 to the cube, which is 27, because 9 to the 3/2 is same thing as 3/2 is the same thing as 9/2, then cube is the same thing as this, so 9 to the half cube, so this is going to be 3 cube, which is 27, and as you see here we cross multiply, get x minus 5 equal 27x plus 81. Then I solve for x, so I got minus x here minus 81, so I got minus 5 minus 86, and here minus 86. Don't keep rushing. You see, when I rush I make silly mistake. Minus 86, and here's going to be 26x. So to find out x, I divide both sides by 26. X is minus 86 over 26 over 26. Alright, and this is negative. My solution is greater than 5. You see, if I use that equations, I will have the solution is this, but this is not the solution for that equations. So if I have, for example, this as my equations, yes, this is my solution because this is less than minus 3. Do you get the point? For that equation it's not. Why? Because if I substitute this value into the equations here, I will have the value inside of log here is negative, and you know the inside of the log should never be negative, should be always be positive. But if I substitute this x here, I will have a positive output because it's going to be negative on both sides. So be careful with that type of equations. So don't think, okay, when you condense the expression and you solve and you get the answer, is your answer. First, from the first expression or the first equation they give you, define your domain where the solution should be located. Then you do all the property of log in order for you to solve the equations. But first define where the solution should be. I'm warning you guys, it's up to you. Alright, next. Oh, by the way, here you see I need to have x positive. This is negative, that means no solution. Sorry. So there is no solution for that equation. Alright, next question. Find all asymptote X-Intercept, Y-Intercept for the rational function. Here I need to find out the vertical asymptote. For the vertical asymptote, when they give you a rational expression, first, before you make the denominator equal 0, check if you can simplify the rational function. If you can simplify it first. Then you look for the asymptote before you find out the vertical asymptote. So first, simplify. Then after you simplify, you make the denominator equal 0, because sometimes there's no denominator after you simplify. That means there's no vertical asymptote. So be careful. So don't just like pick the function and just make the denominator equal 0 right away. No. Simplify, then make the denominator equal 0. Here there's nothing to simplify because it's in the simplest form. I just make the denominator equal 0. So I just make x plus 4 equals 0. That means x equal minus 4. So this will be my vertical asymptote. For my horizontal asymptote, again, the same way, simplify, then look for the horizontal asymptote. Again, here I cannot simplify because this is the simplest form. What I do, I just take the highest power, so the highest power, the coefficient of the highest power, so it's going to be 2x over x. So this is the highest power, this is the highest power. Then I simplify, so I get 2. So this will be my horizontal asymptote. Now for the x-intercept, I just make the numerator equal 0. So because this is rational, so x-intercept, to make the fraction equal 0, you make the numerator equal 0, we don't make the denominator. So I get 2x minus 1 equals 0. That means I will have x equal half. So this is easy to do. For the y-intercept, substitute x by 0. So y-intercept, I just look for f of 0, which is going to be minus 1 over 4, and this will be my y-intercept. So I hope it's clear and you get the idea how to find out the vertical and horizontal asymptote. But please, again, this is the common mistake. Each student, when they see vertical or horizontal asymptote, what they do, for vertical, they just make right away denominator equals 0. No. If you can simplify the rational expression, simplify it first. Then make the denominator equal 0. The same thing for the horizontal asymptote. Simplify, then look for the make the ratio of the highest power. I hope it's clear. Next question. If a baseball is projected upward from a ground level with initial velocity 80 feet per second, then its height is a function of time, so it's given. So this is the height, this is the equation of the height, s equal minus 16t squared plus 80t. So what is the maximum height reached by the ball? That means here I'm looking for the vertex, because the vertex will give me the maximum of that function. Because look here, a is negative, like I said before. If I have f of x is ax squared plus bx plus c, so if a is positive, we have a minimum. If a is negative, we have a maximum. Here we're looking for a maximum. That means a should be negative, and this is the case here. A is negative. And to find out the maximum, remember we talk about the vertex. The vertex will give you two things: the axis of symmetry, which is minus b over 2a, and give you the extremum, which is the max or min, which is 4ac minus b squared over 4a. So that value, either max or min. For our case is a max because a is negative. So I know that c is 0 because there is nothing here, so I have 0 here. So to find out the maximum height of the ball, I just need to solve or substitute the value. This is my a, this is my b, this is my c into that expression. So it's going to be 4 times minus 16 times 0 minus 80 squared over 4 times minus 16. So this is 0, this is minus 80, and this is square over 4 times minus 16. So this is become positive. So here now I need to simplify it in an easy way. So I got 80 times 80 over 4 times 4 times 4. Here we go. So this is going to give me 20. This is going to give me 20. So I cancel 4. So if I can simplify this, that will give me 5. So 5 times 20 is 100. So 100 feet is my answer. So what did I did here? 80 divided by 4 is give me 20. I did 80 divided by 4 is give me 20. And I have 1 4 left. So what I did, simplify here is give me 5. So 5 times 20 is 100. So I hope you got this idea. Next, find the zero real and complex number. So here what I do here, I need to factor this. So keep in mind this property. If I have a cubed plus b cubed is a plus b times a square minus ab plus b square. So don't do this x cubed equal minus 27 then root cube both sides. So it's going to be x equal minus 3 and you're done. No, this is wrong, because here they ask you for a real and complex solution. This will give you only the real solution, but you're not going to see the complex solution. So in order for you to solve that type of equations, factor it first. So here it's going to be x plus 3. This is my a, this is my b. It's like I'm doing it like this way, look. So x cubed, what is 27? 27 in fact is 3 cubed equals 0. So this is my a, this is my b. So it's going to be a plus b times a square minus a times b plus b square, which is 9, equals 0. Now what I do here, I have two equations, x plus 3 equals 0, because the product equals 0, one of them is 0. So I make the first one equal 0, and the second one equals 0, but I put OR. So here I will have x squared minus 3x plus 9 equals 0, and this is the quadratic equations. I just use the quadratic formula. So here I will have x equal minus 3, which is what we got at the beginning. This is my real solution. And here I'm going to use the quadratic formula. So here x will be minus b, which is minus 3, minus square root of b square, which is minus 3 square, minus 4 times 9 times 1, over 2a, which is 2. Or I will have x equal minus 3 plus square root of minus 3 square minus 4 times 9 over 2. So here I will have 3 minus, here's going to be 9, it's going to be 9 minus 36 over 2, and here is going to be equal to 3 plus 9 minus 36 over 2. So this is going to be minus 27. So I will have here x equal 3 minus square root of minus 27 over 2, x equal 3 plus square root of minus 27 over 2, and when we move the minus out we create the I. So it's going to be 3 minus I square root of 27 over 2, and we have 3 plus I square root of 27 over 2. So those are my complex solution, and this is my real solution. You can simplify this more, but I believe what they ask for is this form. If they ask you to write it down in complex form, you just need to split the denominator. So you do it like 3/2 minus square root of 27 over 2i, and we have 3/2 plus square root of 27 over 2i. So this is the complex notation of complex number. So either you do it in this form or you give it to me this form. Both of them are solution, and this is my real solution. So let me write it down here. So my real solution will be x will be minus 3, and my complex solution, so I'm going to use this notation, which is going to be 3 over 2 minus, if I simplify this, I will have 3 square root of 3 over 2i, and here I have 3/2 plus 3 square root of 3 over 2i, and those are my two solutions. The first is real and the last two are complex. Alright, next question. Find a polynomial function of degree 3 with 0, 3i and minus 2. So when we have a complex solution, that means we have its conjugate again is a solution. As you see here in the previous question, you see the conjugate of this one is that one. You see we have negative, it's become positive. You see when we have a complex solution, its conjugate always is a solution all the time. All the time. If we have a solution, always the conjugate of that complex is a solution too. So for our case here, we have 3i, that means minus 3i is a solution too. That means we have 3, 0 is 3i minus 3i and minus 2. So when I want to set my function, I will do f of x equal, the leading coefficient is 1, that means the coefficient of x here is 1, so minus 3i, and we have x plus 3i, and we have x plus 2. So how can I get this right away? So I have three x's, that means 3 zeros, so x equal 3i, x equal minus 3i, and x equal minus 2. So what we do here, you move the 0 next to the x here, minus 3i, so I got x minus 3i equals 0. Here we have x plus 3i equals 0, and here we have x plus 2 equals 0. Then what you do, you multiply those expressions together, because if I multiply this time this time this will give me 0, because 0 times 0 times 0 is 0, as you see the idea. So here I'm going to use the idea of a square. If I have complex, a minus bi times a plus bi is a square plus b square. So here it's going to be x squared plus 3 squared, which is 9, times x plus 2. Then I distribute, so I got x cubed plus 2x squared plus 9x plus 18, and this will be my final answer for that question. I hope you got the idea and it's clear. So set it up in this form. This is my 0, x equal the 0 of each one. So it's like you do the reverse operation of solving equations. So you move this one here, and you move this one here, and move this one here. So you get the equations, which is each one equals 0. Then you multiply the expression together, which is going to give you your polynomial function. Alright, so the diagonal of a TV set is 13 inch. If I have a TV, okay, the diagonal is 13 inch. That means this is 13. So its length is 7 inch more than the height. That's when the height is x, the length is going to be 7 plus x. So find the dimension. I need to find out the height and the length. So I know this is a right triangle, because the TV, most of the TV are right triangle except the new one. Alright, so here I will have, I'm going to use Pythagorean theorem. So I know that 13 square is 7 plus x square plus x square. So 13x is 169. So here is going to be 49 plus 14x plus x square plus x square. So I'm gonna minus 49 on both sides. I got 120 equal 14x plus 2x square. Divide the whole thing by 2 to simplify. So I got 60 equal 7x plus x square. I move 60 on the other side, so I got x square plus 7x minus 60 equals 0. So I need to find out two value. If I time them together, it's going to give me 60, but if I subtract them, they're going to give me 7, because here it's negative. That means one is positive, one is negative, but the biggest is positive. So here it's straightforward, it's 5 and 12, so it's going to be x plus 12 and x minus 5 equals 0. So we'll have x equal minus 12 and x equal 5, because I'm going to make this equal 0 and make it equal 0. I know the width cannot be negative, so of course it's going to be positive. So here x equal 5, and if I do 5 here, so I get 12. So that's mean my height is 5 and my length is 12". So this is how we do it. So here, after that, what you do, you make the equations x plus 12 equals 0 and x minus 5 equals 0, and you solve. This is straightforward. So I skip that one because I believe that you know how to do after that. Alright, for this question here, so they ask me to simplify the difference quotient. So I just need to substitute this one here and go for it. So I have f of x plus h minus f of x over h. So this, I just substitute the expression into here, so it's going to be 2 times x plus h minus x plus h square minus, because this is an expression, so I need to create my parentheses, 2x minus x squared. So if you don't do the parentheses, you're gonna have a wrong answer, so be careful. When we have minus f, doesn't mean f is my expression, so if I want to substitute a variable by an expression, I create my parentheses. So here I will distribute this, so it's gonna be 2x plus 2h minus, here I'm gonna factor this, so it's gonna be x squared plus 2xh plus h square minus 2x plus x square over h. So I distribute the 2x plus 2h minus x square minus 2xh plus minus h square, you see, minus h square minus 2x plus x square. So everyone can make mistakes, so be careful. Alright, now I'm going to simplify here. 2x with 2x, that's it. Now what I do here, I have 2h minus 2xh plus h squared over h. As you see here, we have h as common factor on the numerator, so I take h as common factor. So h times 2 minus 2x plus h over h, so I cancel this and I got my simple form, 2 minus 2x plus h, and this will be your answer. Last question here. So the sale of a product have declined in recent year. So here I need to, there were 2.01 million sold in 19, so that means in 1994, so the initial is 2.01, so this is because this is going to be my initial year, and in 2004 we sold 1.5 million. Okay, so that means after 10 years we got this. That means this is going to be after 10. That means here my t is 10. If I take this minus this, I got 10. That means t10, we got this value. That means here what I do, I got s of 10, which is s initial, e to the minus k times 10. My s initial, which is this year, is going to be 2.01, and my s10 will be 1.5. So it's going to be 1.5 equal 2.01 e to the minus k times 10, and this will help me find my k. So I divide both sides by 2.01. So here it cancels out, so here I move this one by 2, divide this one by 2, so I get 150 over 201 equal e to the minus k times 10. So here I can simplify, divide by 3 here, so I got 50, and here divide by 3, I got 67. So it's going to be 50 over 67. So divide by 3 here, divide by 3 here. Just add the coefficient, add the digits, so it's going to be 6. 6 divided by 3. Here 3 divided by 3, that's when both of them are divisible by 3. So this is 6th grade stuff, okay? E to the minus k 10 times 10. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use ln. both sides because I'm looking for k. So what I will get here, so this cancel out, so I got ln of 50 over 67 equal minus k times 10. So divide both sides by minus 10, I got my k. So if I divide by minus 10, so it can be minus 1 over 10. ln of 50 over 67 will give you my k, and I'm done. I hope you got the idea for this second part. So I hope everything was clear. So please, if you have any comment about the way I presented and the way I present my explanation, please do so. It will help me a lot to improve my way of teaching. Thank you for watching the video, and Assalamu alaikum.